Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another playthrough of Spirit Island. Today we're going to be playing with Bringer and Dreams of Nightmares again. And we're going up against Sweden level 5. So we've gone ahead and set up as usual. The initial explorer was into the jungle, and the level 4 effect for Sweden of discarding the card was the mountains. So we put it down in land number 7. So I think that is everything for setup, and we can go on with our first turn. And for this, I think I'm going to take growth option number 3 and take a minor, and then we'll place our presence after. So we get a choice between Call to Trade, Shadows of the Burning Forest, Call to Ferocity, and Here There Be Monsters. And I think here the elements on Here There Be Monsters are just perfect for what we need for our innates. So I think that's probably going to be the one I'm taking here. Yeah, I think so. And then we can play or place our presence from the top track, and I think I'm going to place it into land number 6. So we can, we will go on with our turn then, and I think we'll take our 2 energy to start, and then I think I'm going to play probably Predatory Nightmares and Here There Be Monsters. I think I'll do that. So we have 2 moon, 1 air, and 2 air because of our element on the presence or energy track, and we have 2 animal tags as well. So we do meet level 1 of that and level 2 of Night Terrors. So I guess we'll do this one first. And it's each player removes 1 explorer from a coastal land, and then for this one we can target land number 6, and we'll get 2 fear for that, and that's all for our fast powers. So we can go on. We don't resolve the event. There's nothing to ravage. We're building in the jungles. This gets a town, and land number 8 also gets a town. And then we're exploring into the sands, so that gets 1, and land number 5 also gets 1. Invader cards advance, and we can go on then to the slow power phase. And I think here we can use our Predatory Nightmares and target land number 4, and we will do 2 damage, which pushes that in there. That gets us 2 fear on the first fear card, and then there's no to hand to push. That is 1 away from where we have a sacred site. And then we can use Here There Be Monsters. You may push 1 explorer town to hand and get 2 fear, and if the target land has beasts, 1 fear. So I think we're going to use this to push in here, and then we will get 2 fear for that, and then because it has a beast token we will get 1 more. So that's going to do it for the slow powers. These will get discarded, and we can go on to the next turn. And I think for this, I'm almost certainly going to choose this one, growth option number 4, which gives us two more energy. We can also place a presence, which I'm going to place off the top track. And I think I'm going to put it into land number 1. Let's do that. So we'll get 3 off the energy track. So 2 and 3. And I think I'm going to play probably Call on Midnight's Dream and Dread Apparitions here. So that'll be 2 for Dread Apparitions. And so we'll target Dread Apparitions in land number 8. It's 1 away from where we have a presence. We'll do 1 fear, which gets a second fear card. And then whenever we generate fear in that land, I think instead I'm going to put my presence in there. Yeah, I have to do that. To trigger Night Terrors. We'll do that. So we will use our 2 moon and 2 air and 1 animal to get the first 2 levels of Night Terrors, which is another 2 fear. So that defend is going to be for 3. And then we can also turn up any face down fear card. So I think we'll turn up this one, and it's each time destroys 1 explorer in its land. That's fine. Then we can use Call on Midnight Stream. If the target land has Dahan, we're going to target land number 8. We can gain a major. So our choices are 1, 2, 3, 4. And we get Pillar of Living Flame, Unleash a Torrent of the Self's Own Essence, Utter a Curse of Dread and Bone, or Volcanic Eruption. And I think here we will go for Utter a Curse of Dread and Bone. It has 2 of our elements, and it might actually work quite well in land number 4 because of Sweden's extra blight here. So we'll take that. We will get 2 energy, but I don't think I'm going to play that now. I think I'll wait until the next turn. So that is our fast power is over with. We can go on to the event, and it is Eager Explorers. After the first successful build action, add 1 explorer to an adjacent land without invaders. Fine. Fear cards, then we get our first, which is the face down one. Each player removes 1 explorer from a coastal land, we'll remove him. And then each player may push up to 2 explorers from an inland land. I'm tempted to push this guy out because then we will save a blight. Because of Sweden's level 1 rule, but then that will punish us when we play Utter a Curse of Dread and Bone. But I think I will do that. I'll push that in there, I think, or maybe in here. Actually, no, I'll leave it in there. So that's that. We're Ravaging in the Jungle. This is defended. The Dahan retaliate, so they do 4 damage, and then the Dahan retaliate for 4. So that gets killed, and we generate a fear for that. We'll remove that. We're getting a blight. They're doing 5 damage in land 4. And then they're building in the sands, nothing there and nothing there. So after the first successful build action, there was none, so we don't add an explorer in an adjacent land without invaders. And there, even if they did build, there are no adjacent lands without invaders, so that won't apply. And then we are exploring into the sands. So this gets an explorer, and this gets an explorer. There are more Dahan than invaders, so they don't get replaced with a town. And yeah, we can go on to the slow powers. We don't have any, so these get discarded. And we can go on then to the next turn. And I think here we will choose growth option number 3 again. I think I'm going to go for a minor this time. Tormenting Rotflies, Bat Scout by Raids by Darkness, Gift of Twin Days, and Elusive Ambushes. I'm taking Bat Scout. Yeah, and then we'll be able to, so we'll get 3 energy off the energy track. So 1, 2, 3, and we're going to play our major, so Utter Curse of Dread and Bone, and Bat Scout as well. So that is, they're all slow power, so we have we do have to place a presence, sorry. And I think I'm going to place this, probably want to place it in here. Let's try that. Okay, so we have 3 moon, 2 air, and 2 animal. So we do meet all 3 levels of this. We will target land number 5 and generate 3 fear. So that's 1, 2, 3. And then we do meet this one as well. So we will turn this face up, and it's going to be at level 2. So skip the next normal build. The build card remains in place instead of shifting left. And then we get 1 element that we have at least 1 of. So we could have actually, even if we had played this, we could have triggered this this level, so we could have actually got the second animal tag anyway. So what do I actually want to play? Dreams of Dahan instead of Bat Scout? There is a case to be made, like we could bring in the 2 Dahan there. So I think I might actually do that here. Instead of playing Bat Scout, I'm going to play Dreams of the Dahan. We have the 3 moon, which allows us to get an element that we have at least one of. We'll take an animal. So we have 3 moon and 2 animal. And so that's going to trigger the threshold effect for utter a curse. So our dreams of the Dahan then, we will gather up to 2 Dahan, or if the target land has towns and cities, 1 fear for each Dahan to a maximum of 3. I think I'm going to, so they're not going to, well, if we get this fear card, the build card remains in place, so they would skip the build in there. But I think I'm okay if they build in there. This will be clear by next turn, so I think I'm going to gather 2 Dahan in here. And then if they do explore in there, then we should be protected from getting one of the Dahan replaced. So that's that. We'll go on to the events, and we get on each board add 1 town to a coastal land adjacent to a coastal city. So we're going to want to add it in there. So that's fine. And then destroy 2 explorers. So we've added the town, and then destroy 2 explorers among lands with beasts. So that's actually good for us. And then on each board add 1 Dahan to a land with Dahan and no blight or disease. So we will add 1 Dahan. Let's add it in here. So that's fine. Fear cards then, and we get each town destroys 1 explorer in its land. So that and that. We are ravaging in sands. This is doing 1 damage to Dahan, retaliate and kill it. We're building in the sands. There's nothing to build, and we're exploring into the jungle. So we have 1 there and 1 there. The invader cards advance, and we go on then to our slow powers, and we only have 1. So we will target 1 away from where we have a sacred site. We'll target land number 4 for each blight in or adjacent to target land. So there's 1, 2. Add 1 badlands, 1 disease or 1 strife, maximum of 3 each. Then 2 fear and 1 damage. So I think I'm going to add 2 badlands here, and that is so yeah, we will get 2 fear, so that's another fear card, and then we do 1 damage, which is augmented by the 2 badlands to 3. So we will target the city. That kills the city, which is another 5 fear because of our special rules. So that's 1 fear card and another fear. And then we have 3 moon and 2 animal for each type of token we added. Add 1 more within range 1. So we will add this in, let's add it in here, I think. And then 1 damage in an adjacent land. So we can, if we, I think, is it an adjacent land from where we added or an adjacent land? I think it might be an adjacent land from the target land. So yeah, let's do 1 damage here, which will kill this town, but it pushes it, and that generates another 2 fear. And that will do it for our slow powers. These go away, and we are going on to the next turn, and I think I'm going to choose to reclaim here. So we'll reclaim our cards, and then we can let's go for a see, I could put off the reclaim here, and I think I will actually put off the reclaim because we're not in trouble in the ravage step this phase. So I think I might use it to try and get another presence out here, and I think I will choose, let's go with this, and we'll get a major. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we get irresistible call, tigers hunting, cast down into the briny deep, and manifest incarnation. And I think here, so I was tempted by tigers hunting, but I think I'm going to go for manifest incarnation here. It does have our elements, but it generates so much fear. So yeah, I'm definitely thinking that one's probably the one I'm going to go for. In terms of what we forget here, I think that's a tough one. I think we can probably try. Let's forget Dreams of the Dahan. And sorry, we should have forgotten Call of Midnight's Dream as well when we took the major power. So we'll forget, Dreams of the Dahan. And then we will add a presence from this, and we'll add it into land number 4. We'll get 4 energy from the energy track. We're going to play Manifest Incarnation for 6. So that's 3, and then we'll play Bat Scout as well. So we have, let's see, if in terms of elements, 3 moon, 2 air, and 2 animal. So we do meet all 3 levels of Night Terrors. So we can target land number 4 and generate 3 fear. So that's 1, and then 2, 3. And then we meet this, so we will, I guess, turn this one up, and it's each player may gather 1 explorer town into a coastal land, defend 2 in all coastal lands. And then we do have the 3 moon, and we can gain, we're going to be 1 short of the threshold effect for Manifest Incarnation, but I guess we can just say we'll take a sun. Let's go with that. Okay, so that's all for our slow powers. We'll go on to the events, and we get, we're still Healthy Island. In the land with the most towns, replace 2 towns with 2 cities. If there is only 1 town, instead replace it with 1 city. So we have a choice between these 2. I think I want to, because we're going to be removing 1 city, 1 town from here, I think I'm going to replace this one. So replace it with a city, and then push up to 2 explorers or 1 town from a land with beasts. There are none. And then when invaders ravage, if the land has the hand, defend for 2. So yeah, that's not going to help. Our fear cards then. So skip the next normal build. The build card remains in place instead of shifting left. On each board, remove 1 town. So we'll remove that. And then towns and cities deal -1 damage during ravage. Invaders do not heal damage at the end of this turn. Okay, so we'll have to remember that. So they're ravaging in sands, nothing. They're building, they're skipping the next normal build. The build card remains in place instead of shifting left. And then they're exploring into the mountains. So this gets 1, and this gets 1 as well. The Ravage card will advance. There's not going to be a Ravage next turn. So this Fear card goes away. So we have a jungle and a mountain build on the next turn. And then we can go on to the slow powers. So let's use Manifest Incarnation. We'll target land number 4. We'll do 6 fear. So that's 1 fear card, and then 5 and 6. That's a second. And then that's fine. And then +1 fear for each town or city, and for each of your presence in target land. So we have 1, 2, 3. So that's another 3. Remove 1 town, 1 city, and 1 explorer. So we'll remove those. And then invaders in target land ravage. So there are no invaders left. So even that doesn't matter now. And then we can, for each Dahan, 1 damage to towns or cities. So there's no lands where that will help. So we will use the second one, 1 fear, gather up to 2 Dahan. And I will target land number, sorry, that blight should be in there. Let's just target, I guess we can target this land. That would enable us to gather Dahan in there, or we can target it. Let's target in here. So we'll target here. We'll generate 1 fear. That's another fear card. And gather up to 2 Dahan, and we'll gather these 2. And yeah, that will do it for this slow power phase. So we can go on to time passes, and this time we are going to reclaim our cards, and we're going to gain a power card. And I think for this, I probably want to go with a minor here. So let's gain a minor. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we get Cycles of Time and Tide, Gift of Constancy, Purifying Flame, and Goal's Allure. This goes away, sorry, this and I think here we will probably go for Purifying Flame, because we have the Manifest Incarnation, which is looking for a sun element. And yeah, this has a sun, but it also has the air that we like as well. So let's go for that. Maybe we can save that for next turn. So yeah, we'll take that. We get 4 energy off the energy track. I'll take 3 individual ones. So 1, 2, and 3. And then for this turn, I think I'm going to play Predatory Nightmares and Bat Scout for Raids by Darkness. So we'll get 1 and 2. And yeah, we will, so we have 3 moon, 2 air, and 2 animals. So we do have all 3 levels of this. So that's 3 fear, which we can target land number 8 with. And then we can turn up any fear card. So let's turn up this one. So it's going to be each player chooses a different coastal land. In each, gather up to 1 Dahan, 2 damage per Dahan. Fine. And then we can gain 1 element, which we have at least 1 of. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. We've used all our, we have no thresholds. So events then, and it is when exploring once per board, place 1 town instead of an explorer. On each board, add 1 beast to a land without blight that has towns. So we will add that in there, I think. And then during Ravage in every land, defend 1 per Dahan in the land. Doesn't impact us. We'll leave that there to remind us. And then our fear cards are going to be, so Terror level 3, each player may gather 2 explorers or towns into a coastal land. Defend 4 in all coastal lands. I guess we don't really need to do that. Each player removes up to 5 health of invaders from a land with disease, or 1 explorer town from an inland land. So we could remove like this and this, or we can remove 1 of these explorers, which will prevent a build. But I think I'm okay with my cards to handle these lands. So I think I'm going to remove that and that. And then each player chooses a different land. In chosen land, gather up to 2 Dahan, then 1 damage per Dahan present. So we can actually win this here, I think. So we can gather these into land number 2. Then 1 damage. Oh, no, we can't. Okay. So I guess we can just gather into here and just... Yeah, we won't gather anything, and we'll do 1 damage per Dahan. So we will take that out. That's fine. There is no Ravage this turn. We have a jungle and a mountain build, so nothing there, nothing there. This gets a town, and the disease prevents that build. And we are exploring into the coastal lands. So once a turn, or once per board, place 1 town instead of 1 explorer. So we can go there, there, and I think we'll place the town into land number 2. So these advance, and we can go on to our slow powers. So we have, I think we will use, let's use Predatory Nightmares, 1 away from where we have a sacred site. So we'll target this land, and we will do 2 damage. Which gets us 2 fear, so that's 1 and 1 more. And then for each town, or for each Dahan, 1 damage, 2 towns or cities. So we will do 3 damage in here and push that in there, which is another 2 fear. That's the end of the slow powers. We can then go on to our next turn, and I think I will choose this, and I'm going to put our presence into, what do we need here? I think probably in here. Yeah, let's do that. And then we will get 2 energy plus 4 from the energy track. So 3 and 4. And I think I'm going to play Manifest Incarnation which is going to be, although that will, if we push this in here instead of in there, because we're ravaging in the jungles. Yeah, that makes more sense. So we'll pay 3 for, so that's going to be 6 for Manifest Incarnation. So yeah, our presence then will have to go in here, I think. Although then we'll lose it next turn during the ravage. Although we do have this fear card, each player chooses a different coastal land, gather up to 1 Dahan, and then 2 damage per Dahan. So that would be 4 damage in there. So we could actually, yeah, why don't we put our presence in there, and then we can play Dread Apparitions as well. And we'll pay 2 for that. So we will target Dread Apparitions in land number 2. We'll do 1 fear, that's another fear card. And we will get a defend 1 in there. And then we can target, we have 3 moon, 2 air, and 1 animal. So we get all 3 levels of that. That's 3 fear, which increases that to a defend for 4. And then we can turn any face down fear card face up. And we will use this. And it's going to be each player adds 1 strife in a land with Dahan in every land with strife, 1 damage per Dahan. That's fine. That's all for our fast powers. We go onto the events and we get outpaced, so we can either discard each of our slow power cards played this turn and gain 1 energy plus the card's printed energy cost, or we can pay 3 energy or destroy 2 presence, and we can choose to resolve the power card now. I think I will choose that option, destroy 2 presence and resolve this now. So that's 6 fears, so that's 1, and that is a fear victory. Yeah, wow, okay. Yeah, that was quite a powerful game there with Bringer. Yeah, you can see how you really can burn through the fear deck, especially when you get further up the energy track and you have some decent fear generating major powers. This was such a good card. I'm getting that 6 fear just straight off the bat, and then I think we used it in this stand. We had another 3 on top of that. We didn't hit the threshold though, but yeah, like that was 9 fear, plus it removed a city, a town, and an explorer. So that was yeah, pretty good draw for us. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. The last fear card was each player chooses a different land to isolate and then also defend 4 in those lands. So we could have dealt with that as well, but yeah, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments if you have any thoughts, anything you would have done differently or anything I missed. Always appreciate the comments and the feedback. But yeah, that's going to do it for today. Hopefully you can join again next time. Thank you.